You spy that column of smoke? God damn it! Make haste!
As the Clayton Estate appeared from behind a tree line, the Queen and all in her retinue knew at once they had arrived too late. A veritable swarm of bandits milled about the yard.
Who have we here? I'll take a gander, lads. The Queen herself has deigned to come and see us.
See you, then kill you.
The strays of Sparla. 'Tis you who lead them. 'Tis you they call the Duke of Dogs.
Aye, 'tis I they dub so. And in other pleasant ways. Prince of Pariahs, Thane of Thieves, Baron of Brigands, and Marquess of Mendacity.
Colourful titles all, yet you omit one. Common cutthroat!
I beg your pardon and cry foul! I am anything but common.
You needn't get excited, Caldwell. Where is Lord Clayton?
Sadly, my lord's no longer with us. Turned us away, you see. Denied us hospitality. A sacred right, after all. Angered the gods mightily, I expect, as he promptly met a tragic end. Fell in the well and broke his neck.
I've heard enough. To arms! Attack!
What say we throw this queen a ball?
We'll catch 'em all! The chase is on!
I'm a one, sir.
Stand back! 'Tis some alchemical concoction!
Well, well, my congratulations.
I smell a leak.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am. Gotta get our asses moving.
One boat.
No time for that. Go, hop, hop.
Left, right, left, right.
Should have listened to me old lady.
Again and again and again.
Bravo, Your Grace. Well played.
I can't say the same for you, I fear. You'd have done better to die in battle. Bound for Lyria now, where the hangman will have his way with you.
Splendid! I've ever wished to see the capital.
Ugh. Take him away.
As soldiers placed the Duke of Dogs in shackles, there was a sudden commotion. A messenger rushed in, sweaty, gasping for air, smelling of smoke and blood. His gaze spoke terror.
Your Majesty, graces. Nilfgaard's crossed the Yaruga. Black-clad hordes. Villages burn. Folk lie murdered.
Nilfgaard! Gods help us!
They march for Dravagrad. Prince Willem, he can't hope to arrive in time with aid. Help us! You must!
Dravagrad. Blast it all. Listen close, soldier. You're to take a fresh mount, ride hard back to your commander and say the Queen comes to repel the foe.
Your Grace, begging your pardon, our force. We aren't many. Let's send for reinforcements first, elsewise...
Reynard, I've seen Nilfgaard's trebuchets at work. Should we delay until we're stronger, they'll leave no stone standing in Dravagrad. We must ride for the town at once.
As her men prepared to march, Neve climbed the manor's tower. Smoke rose in columns in the distance. As more black pillars appeared one after the other, she knew they meant another home, another barn, another mill was in flames. Tears welled in her eyes, yet they were tears of anger.
Bastards. If it's war they seek, it's war I shall bring. Reynard, prepare to ride!
First bandits, now this. Misfortune does indeed come knocking twice.
In hobnailed boots, tramping upon my land. Nilfgaard shall regret this. I swear on all that is sacred and blessed.
Suddenly, Meave's force found itself marching straight towards a Nilfgaardian company. To the Queen's surprise, the invaders did not immediately assume battle formation. They proceeded instead in her very direction without a sign of panic. The man leading the Nilfgaardians was clad in rich robes. He exuded pride and the scent of musk.
I am Trahaern var Vdifir, Your Majesty. I was asked to present your esteemed grace the ultimatum of the forces of the Empire of Nilfgaard.
The envoy cracked the seal on a scroll, unfurled it, took a deep breath, and began to read.
I, General Ardal Ebdahi, demand the immediate and unconditional surrender of Lyria and Rivia. Elsewise, I will burn down every city, town, village, and temple, place all your subjects in chains, and your armed men, defeated and captured, I will hang along the roadsides as a warning to all others in the barbarous north.
As the final threat echoed in Meave's ears, the envoy put away the scroll and stood waiting for her answer, a mocking smile on his face. He allowed himself this insolence, believing the immunity accorded diplomats would shield him from any form of royal ire.
I thank you, sir. A sophisticated missive that proves beyond a doubt Nilfgaard's superiority over the culturally backward north.
Answered the Queen in a voice frostier than Mahakam's snow-capped peaks.
To delay this matter I see no reason, so I give you my response to His Excellency. Go ahead and try, Whoreson.
That said, Meave slapped her mount with her reins and galloped away, leaving the Nilfgaardians in dust. Envoy and escort turned to go whence they came, the Lyrians sending them off with a din of whistles and curses.
I'm a one say. One bullet's all I need.
Then one day, gazing towards the horizon, the Queen spotted Lyrian banners whipping about in the wind.
At long last.
She said with a smile. Niamh resolved to speak with the commander, one Baronet Eldar. It was the first time they met, and the youth very much impressed her. Yet instead of questioning Eldar about the foe's troop movements, Reynard took the conversation down a seemingly irrelevant path.
And how's your father, if I may ask? In good health, I hope?
Yes, though he still nurses that bump he suffered while hunting last winter. Yet he's not one to complain. I'll tell him you asked.
Irritated at the trivial nature of the conversation, Niamh gave her horse a dose of her reins and cantered off. Once Eldar and his men were safely behind them, she took Reynard aside.
Reynard, this is no time for gossip and pleasantries. We are at war.
Yes, your majesty. And in such times, little should be taken at face value. Even a man's name.
Get to the point, Reynard.
Eldar's father died a month past. His son, I venture, should have known as much.
But that means... Oh, the bastard. Impeccable accent, though.
I fear he's rather representative of what we face. Nilfgaardian spies are ever well prepared.
Tell me, how did you know?
He wears no mourning on his armor. Were it not for that, I dare say I might never have guessed. What are your orders, your grace? To observe these Nilfgaardian mummers?
Assemble a force. Tell them to follow our new allies. Observe them closely.
As you wish, your grace.
Reynard's scouts did as ordered, watching the false Lyrians while themselves remaining unseen. Soon after, a scout returned with news that the false Lyrians seemed headed for Rastburg, a castle several leagues to the north.
House, barn, granary. Blackclads burnt it all down. Begged her, milady. On hands and knees. They just laughed.
The false Lyrians approached Rastburg Castle. They sought to convince the defenders to open the gate. As their commanders negotiated with the commander on the ramparts, the remaining infiltrators crouched hidden behind a wall, awaiting the signal to rush forth.
Time for Baronet Elder to join his falsely claimed father,
muttered the Queen.
Follow me!
They found us! Säga not to eat! Ha! Eri gloire!
I'm a one, sir. One bolt I need.
Elherzer!
A lesson in humility coming now.
Give me a target.
Yes.
Destillat Zweifel! I'm coming.
Discipline. That is what you folk lack.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Scheiß! In! Try!
Again and again and again.
Off to the front yet again.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
The commissar here.
Very good.
The Nilfgaardians found themselves in a clinch. As boiling oil and tar rained down on them from the walls, they attempted to retreat. Yet Meave's halberdiers cut off their path, and at the fight's end, Meave was victorious. The garrison commander now knelt by the body of the purported Baronet Eldar, in truth a Nilfgaardian spy. He shook his head in disbelief.
He addressed me by name. Knew our watchwords. Why, if you hadn't come along, Your Grace, I fear even to think on it.
Let this be a lesson, then. Trust no one, not a living soul.
Though victory was theirs, the Lyrians left Rasburg in mightily low spirits. They now knew well that Nilfgaard's spies were no less a threat than its heavy cavalry, than its war machines that spit fire.
Milady, if I may, the enemy yet lurks. You must bolster your force. You must incorporate a detachment from my unit.
What the devil is going on? Where are our reinforcements? Why does Willem not ride out to face the foe, relieve besieged towns?
I can't say, Your Grace. We haven't had a single scroll from the Prince.
Gods be damned. I've the impression I'm alone in fighting the Blackclads.
Beware, my lady. Keep a keen watch. Heard the thunder of hooves from the high road. Cries ferocious in a foreign tongue.
Meave's retinue was riding through a narrow gully when a shrill cry cut the air.
And van in order!
The gully came alive, and soldiers in black armor rushed forth. A cry in turn went up and down Meave's ranks. Ambush!
Defensive formation!
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
Armor wars, sir.
101, 102, 103.
Should have listened to me, old lady.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Brach! Scheiß! In! Zwei!
A lesson in humility coming now.
Off to the front yet again.
One bolt.
Quiet, or the Commissar will hear.
Brach! Scheiß! In! Zwei!
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
Again and again and again.
A highly curious case.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
I want them taken alive! I need answers!
After the skirmish, the Queen's troops brought several Nilfgaardian prisoners before her. Reynard, who had the best command of their mongrel tongue, interrogated. His first question? How many battalions were marching on Dravograd?
Kes, Zagdran, Ep, Dravograd, Ven.
The prisoners whispered feverishly, then one spoke on their behalf. They would answer no questions until the Queen pledged to free them in return. The Lyrian soldiers saw this as arrogance and said as much.
Conditions they're giving us now? Sons of whores! I say, we find a tree with a strong bough, several...
Ignoring the objections of her retinue, Meve pledged what the soldiers wished. They, in turn, admitted their commander had pushed forward ahead of the army's core force. He now awaited reinforcements that would let him take Dravograd. The prisoners claimed these units would march through the village of Turnifen.
To lay there in ambush. Hold them. They could not join forces.
Reynard whispered, leaning in towards the Queen.
We would gain the advantage for the decisive battle.
Meve had obtained invaluable information, while the prisoners would gain their freedom. Or so it seemed at the time.
I would ask you to pledge to not reveal our position to your commanders,
said the Queen.
Yet so eager were you to share your army's secrets with me that your word is of no value. Leave my sight.
Once the Queen's words had been translated, the prisoners breathed a sigh of relief. Freed, they ran as fast as they could towards a wood, glancing back to make certain there was no pursuit. But Meve kept her promise.